she enjoyed it. We are a competitive group. We enjoy it. It's just part of what we're doing now. One of the other things with my mom is I will say she's fairly gullible. Okay. Now, the favorite story that she tells on me is Dawn and I were dating, and we had gone to Six Flags over Georgia for the day, and went up there. We left early that morning, came back that night, didn't get back till late that night. So she comes in that morning. She's about to go to some, I don't know, ladies' Bible class or whatever was going on here. But she came in, walked me up, and said, "Brad, oh, by the way, how was your trip?" And you know, at Six Flags, I go in and I bought one of those deals. Have you ever done it where you put your face on a magazine and they stuff it in the deal and you pay your $20 for your, picture on the magazine? Well, I got one of those and it's sitting on the end table. She said, "What's this?" And I said, "Well, Mom, me and Dawn were going and we went down by Lake Altoona. They had this big event going on. I joined the ski tournament and I won the ski tournament in my division. And they got me coming on the magazine. I'll be on the magazine next month. This is just a copy of it." And so my mom believed me. So she went into that little, with all the women and bragged. My mom brags, okay, I'm sorry. But, she goes in and brags about, my son won. You better pick up the magazine. It's next month. You got to get it. It's a varsity magazine. And then comes back. Oh, I told all my friends, I said, "What are you talking about?" She can be gullible. She said, with 5 boys, that's probably a dangerous thing because we pulled some bad things on her. But anyhow, another story you probably know on my mom, but my mom's social filter is a little different than ours. And one of the best stories I've got is famous in Houston, that is my mother was sitting right here on my couch in Houston, and I think Katie was just born. We're out, and me and one of my best friends, he's probably one of the biggest girls I've ever met. He's sensitive, he's got thin skin, he can't take a joke, he's a little overweight, a little conservative, but I'm just telling you his personality. Great guy, but he's thin skinned. Not a good thing to have around a keyboard, okay? And anyway, I came back, we played racquetball. Came back, we're sitting down, my mom said, "Well, how'd you do, Brad? Did you win?" I said, "Well, I think you got the best of me today, you got lucky." And she said, "You're not that short, fat boy, big dude." Poor Dawn's mouth about drops to the floor. And I want you to know, John Walker, my friend, has a friendship that was forged just because of that comment. Every time he comes up and hugs my mom, "Hey, here's the fat boy." They've gone on for years. I mean, they've known each other for 20 years, and one of the first calls I got was from John, getting me praying with me over my mom and the loss. So, wonderful friend. My mom can make a friend out of anybody, but she does have her social filter there, and of course, I think as my dad was not around, and there wasn't anybody there to be a governor for it all. That social filter might have gone off. She tends to carry her opinion a little bit louder and such, but it's part of my mom, and we know it. We love her for it. One thing we never question, no matter what she says, because we got to watch out when we bring her in the room sometimes, But one thing you never question is her love. She loves us all. She loves anybody she comes in contact with, and what a wonderful thing. So, anyhow, those were the things. The kids grew up. We all got married. Had all these wonderful events we went through, and we got, there's 5 girls there that my mother finally got, because after 5 tries, she just said, "I give up." So anyhow, she finally got her wish, and what a wonderful time. About that time, you think, you're empty nesters, you're about to get to do something, but often, the road turns a little bit, and it was time to take care of my grandparents. And boy, did they do that. Good grief. I mean, my grandparents lived with my parents for I don't know how many years. I mean, we moved to probably 3 different houses that they all moved and lived with us. And it was just a wonderful thing to see, and a testament of how to take care so much to us to see that. And I know it did to you too, but they took care of their parents and did wonderful things. They got to see their kids start to grow, and they got grandkids. Everything started going. All I'm really wanting to tell you is my mom and my dad had a wonderful road that they were traveling, and what a time they spent. I won't be too much on. Appreciate y'all. Bear with me in the story of my mom, but we go and we get to this time, and we got a big family, don't we? The love affair that continued here was incredible with my mom and dad. I mean, they just had a good life, and I wanted to share with you the good times we had, because we were richly blessed beyond what we deserved, as most of us are. But we just had it in abundance. I mean, everyone called us the cleavers on Leave It to Be, where we just had everything perfect and everything was great. And we did. We had that road where it was just that. But the roads change sometimes. And a point came, and things changed. And my dad tried a few investments that went bad, and he started struggling a little bit too hard to find a deal, I think. I would say, he had a time that, there were some poor choices made, there were some losses. My mom will tell you it's a time of failure in their life, and remorse for people it affected. I know the situation. I'm not going to share it with you in detail, but I know their hearts, but I also know they wanted something so bad, they lost sight of some of the things that were important in life at that time in their life. So the road changes now. I want to change over. It's more of the story y'all know from today. But before I start that, I can't read this letter. Okay, and I've asked Tom to read it for me, because this is a letter. My dad was sentenced to 17 years, and my brother got caught up. I had the same last name, working with him, and had to spend time too. And we were devastated in life at this time. I just can't share with you how hard it is. It was just terribly hard. And you can't imagine, as a mother, your husband and your son being incarcerated at that time. So that's what we were. That's what we had to go through. And I want you to read. I want you to listen to the letter that my mom sent to my dad. Just within 6 months or so after all this happened. So if you could read that for me, because I'm sorry I read it, but we never get through it. Okay, I can't read it. Thank you.
There are times in our lives when roads come to an end. They come sometimes very unexpected, and some of them we look forward to the end. The happy endings, like the end of a romantic courtship that leads to a new path of marriage, the end of a term of carrying a child, and the birth and the beginning of dreams. We all have so many dreams in life. Some come, some go. The road ends. We have come to the end of a road. This is not a happy road, for it holds fear, uncertainty, heartbreak, humility, and the hurting of so many. These are the emotions we live with, which all sum up failure. But at the end of the road is also a new path. We can't change the old roads except to never walk them again. So we'll start a new road, climb new mountains, and dream new dreams. We must never quit dreaming, hoping, or praying. We can build new roads slowly, surely, and with more confidence than ever before. Time will heal the pain of the old roads, and joy will fill the new roads. As God is our guide and protector, perhaps our very end of the last road of life will be the most joyous. Try with me, Joe. Bear with me. Love me and don't give up. Please travel the next road with me to seek new life for us, our children, and families. I love you with all of my heart and soul forever.
This is a lot of you know my mom's life from this point, and you've seen different things happen. I just want to take you through because I love to brag on my mom. I know she bragged on us before, but I love to brag on my mom because this is my mother that's been a housewife for all my life, and she's divorced. I mean, it was a time I was at a very low point in my career. I didn't have money. Most of my brothers were just starting careers. Unfortunately, we didn't have the money to support, and I mean, they didn't have anything. And anyhow, my mother went out and she got a job. She's been through several. She's worked with several people that are in here, and she's a wonderful worker and did many, many things. But she got a job. I want you to know my mother, Richard and my dad were in prison. Richard was in Montgomery, Alabama. My dad was in Ashland, Kentucky. And my mom would go see my dad one weekend. Next weekend, she'd drive and see my brother. Next weekend, go to see my dad, and she'd take 1 week off and repeat. She did that for 6 years. I mean, it just, you know, you can't measure that. I mean, anyone that's put ourselves in that situation, it's going to be tough. I don't think we can do it to that degree. But she did. You don't know the love they had one for another. I would say that the first 2 years of that, my mother was in depression. My dad, probably too. I mean, they hugged each other over the phone, so to say, and had their weekends together to be able to see each other. But it was a hard time those 2 years, but they started to gain a refocus. I mean, they were floundering. It was a hard time in their faith. They were floundering, but after 2 years, they started coming together. And I want to tell you a story about my mom and dad and their faith. It's incredible. My mom, you've seen the work she's doing. She just started getting on fire. She started getting in everything. I mean, my mom never went out and knocked doors, but she's knocked doors with Randy. She gets out, she'll share God's Word with people. She will share love. She'll share anything she can with them. She's incredible. My dad's sitting there in prison. He's doing Bible studies, and it's getting, he is the preacher man around the campus there. I mean, just wonderful things. I want you to know, when you hit a tough road, usually you come to one side or the other. There's no fence riding when you hit a rough road. You're going away from God, or you're going towards God. And both my parents taught me that in a tough time, it's easy. We've seen the good times. Well, everybody can do good times, but they did a tough time, and they showed me their faith. They showed me what's real. And it impacts every one of us today greatly, and it'll be a blessing we can never repay. I just can't tell you how much my mom and dad, because they've done so much in their life, and you see all the wonderful stories I'm telling you, and they're great, but none of those stories compare to what they have taught us in these hard times. And my mom she's been in it. She has done it. She has done incredible things. So, we go on, and I want you to turn that around. I mean, this is a sad time. I've shared sad things, but things are good. Even though we've got a hard situation, things are good. Now, things come around, and my mom, she still wants to include my dad in everything. This is a vacation we've taken. So we had a good time on this vacation. We were in Florida, had a great time. Now, I think you see my dad's in the picture. My mom didn't want to make my dad out of anything, so he was with us. He was with us in heart and everything we did. My mom made sure of it in every way my mom and the love she has for them that we have this. So anyhow, I just want to share that with you. I just want to go through, I mean, wonderful things started happening. I mean, in that time, Richard came home, and Richard, everything I'm telling you about my dad was almost an identical story to my brother Richard, even though they're 500 miles apart. I see the same faith and the same strength and the same things that Richard has done, and he carries that faith with him today, and will share it with you in a moment's notice. Strong. I just can't tell you what that means to our family. I mean, what we have and what we do, I'm doing my best to share it, but it's strong. My mother was active in everything. Fortunately, my dad transferred to Montgomery, the place where Richard was. Conditions changed where my mom she liked the conditions a little bit better, dark, nicer to you when you come visit. Everything's a little bit better. Still not a great situation, but things are better. Now, my mom is very self-sufficient. She's very independent, to a fault. I mean, the brothers now, things have been going good. I mean, our careers are going and things are getting well. And I mean, it is not a struggle for us to help my mom, nor is it ever held back. There's ways we gave to her, though, because she did not want to take our money. She would not. And it was only until, some of the things here that she went through. I mean, she had a heart attack, several, 6 years, I guess it's been. So she had a heart attack, and I mean, at that time, that struggle didn't work, and she finally allowed us to come in and at least give her some help for quite a while. And of course, the second she can get back to work and get anything, she cuts us off and sends our checks back and everything. You can't do anything with her, but it's the way she does. She went through breast cancer, had to have a mastectomy and go through that, and she had that to go through. But guess what? Everything through that. My mother's schedule is still every other week. She went and saw my dad. I mean, that's never stopped. For all this story I'm telling you. She finally, I got to tell you the story of a wreck. Many of you know she was going to see my dad. I think she fell asleep at the wheel. I mean, she took off at like 5:30 or so in the morning. I mean, it was ridiculous. You got to get there before roll call, or you lose 2 hours. Blah blah blah. But anyhow, she takes off. She falls asleep, wrecks her car. I don't mean wrecks her. She totaled her car. Okay, I mean, she takes it. She's able. The radiator's crusting up. There's steam coming up. The wheels are wobbly. She really crushed her car. She goes to the next exit, gets over, takes it into a shop, walks next door, rents a car. Guess what she did? Yeah, she drove and still went and saw my dad. I mean, that's just the way my mom is. I mean, we laugh at her, we do things, but we can't keep her from what she does. Y'all know the same. I mean, I know a lot of people working with her in the cafeteria. You probably can't even keep her from picking up a heavy pan or something. She's incredible with what she does, and she enjoys her independence. But anyhow, the point I wanted to say, and what I'm taking you through, I had to take you back to that picture. That's my mom. She loves kids. The grandkids are it. And what I like, she spends time with our kids. She's working 40 hours a week. Not 40, more probably about 55. I think if we get honest about what she's doing between her 2 jobs. She's running 55 hours a week. She still goes and sees and visits my dad. She's down to, after the wreck, they agreed to get it to 3 times a month. 1 time every month or once every 3 weeks. She's doing that. Well, somewhere in between that, I don't know how, she's doing all the evangelism stuff. She's cooking deals. She's going to all the kids' events. We got a lot of kids, folks. She's doing it all. She does all that. So what I want you to see with our family, and what I want you to see and love about my mom, is you see everything, you get to see through these pictures, all the fun times and the wonderful things she's done with us. And we cherish every moment. You get to hear and I'll summarize for you, please. the love affair continued to the end. They had it. Some of the hardest things we had to deal with this week was, sharing that initial news with my dad. I can't tell you how hard that is to have a grown man solid on the other line. You can't do one thing, for him. It's a hard thing. But I want you to know, my parents had a great life. My mom had a great life. They showed us everything. I'll sum it up with this, and I appreciate your time and sharing this with me. It means so much to our family, everyone out here, and I can go through and tell stories all across that room with all of y'all, so many more than here, because y'all share in our lives so much, and what y'all mean to us is immeasurable. I go to, what really is our life? We are but a mist that appears for a little while, and we're gone. We're not here long, and my mom was not here along with us. She left much earlier than we ever wanted her to. But I want you to know what we do at that time that we're here is what is important. That is our job every day. How are we going to affect others? We've got a task to share love and be examples to others. And I want you to know, you know it because you lived with her. My mom did that every day. She did it. She showed us so much. But she showed us so much more in the hard times than the good times. We just had love all the way through. And we've been so happy to share this road with my mom. And my mom's got a new road, and it's a wonderful road now because it's the old brick field. It's the most wonderful place. And I'm telling you, that is real. And I am so proud that my mother shared her faith with us. And I'm so proud that she was our mom. And she was a wonderful husband. And we all love her. But I just wanted to tell you all how much I appreciate it. I don't know if you want to do something. Before we have the song, if I can, would y'all just say a quick prayer? I appreciate that. And one of our favorite songs is "It Is Well With My Soul." And it is well with our soul. And I thank you for that so much. Dear God Almighty, we have been blessed so much with the most wonderful mother that can be given. My father's been blessed with the most wonderful wife possible. We've been given riches beyond what we deserve. We've been given examples through life in the way she lived life, not what she said, but what she did every day. We are so rich because of what she gave to us. Every one of us in this room will be able to carry memories and thoughts of my mom's smile and what she gave each and every one of us personally through the rest of our lives. And we will be able to carry out your work because of the baton that was passed upon to us by my mother. Let us always be that worker for you and pass the baton on. Let us make the most of what we're here. Thank you so much for giving us our mom. Thank you for giving us